The air in Emmerdale has been thick with tension, and it's all thanks to one man, John Sugden. Just when it seemed he was getting away with his twisted games, a new twist has thrown his sinister satisfaction into jeopardy. And honestly, we're on the edge of our seats. A marriage on the rocks and a mind on the brink. Can you imagine the chaos? John was already reeling, his world turned upside down after discovering his husband, R.I.P, had kissed his ex, Robert, who, of course, chose their wedding day of all days to reappear in the village. Talk about a dramatic entrance. This wasn't just a bump in the road, it was a full-blown earthquake shaking the foundations of their new marriage. In recent scenes, we saw John desperately trying to find an escape from the emotional turmoil. After reaching out to a mental health helpline, a rare glimpse into his vulnerability, the paramedic knew there was only one way for him to truly feel better. And as we've learned, John's feel better often comes at the expense of someone else's safety. Space and a sinister strategy. When Aaron, bless his heart, tried to talk to John at the shop, John's response was chillingly direct. "I need to concentrate on something other than this right now," he stated, adding that thinking about Robert was doing his head in. This wasn't about genuine space for healing, it was about creating a diversion, a new stage for his dangerous hero complex. Remember John's usual trick? He puts people in peril only to swoop in and save them, basking in the praise and adoration that follows. It's a dark pattern born from a desperate need to feel appreciated, a craving for validation that fuels his perilous tirades. Eric Pollard, a lucky escape. Initially, his sights were set on poor Eric Pollard. When John learned Eric had missed his GP appointment, he pounced, offering a house visit. Eric, perhaps a little flattered, commented, "A bit above and beyond the call." John's reply was dripping with self-satisfaction. "Above and beyond is what I do. All part of my special service." It was a classic John move, designed to make him indispensable. But luckily for Eric, fate, or rather, Cain Dingle, intervened. Just as John was about to put his plan into motion, a very intoxicated Cain Dingle stumbled into view. Cain, drowning his sorrows in some incredibly potent vintage moonshine, was trying to forget the guilt gnawing at him over how he left things with his son, Nate Robinson. The shadow of Nate and a twisted rescue. Ah, Nate. Here's where John's carefully constructed world truly teeters on the brink. As many of you know, John accidentally killed Nate. Yes, you read that right. One of his hero stunts went horribly wrong, leading to Nate's tragic death. The terrifying part: Cain and the rest of the village are completely oblivious to John's horrific crime, with Nate's estranged wife, Tracy, tragically being eyed as a suspect. The irony is sickening. Seeing Cain in such a fragile, vulnerable state was a golden opportunity for John. He quickly made excuses with Eric and, with a predatory glint in his eye, offered Cain a lift home. There, the twisted friendship continued as they drank together. John, ever the manipulator, encouraged Cain to keep on drinking, only pretending to down his own scotch. He was orchestrating a disaster, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to step in. Moira's plea and John's hero moment. When Cain eventually got up, stumbled, and fell to the ground, John knew it was showtime. He left Cain lying there, face down, just long enough for the tension to build, for the situation to become truly dire. Then, and only then, did he finally roll him over into the recovery position, making sure to facilitate his breathing, presenting himself as the calm, capable savior. Just as John was enacting his chilling charade, Moira returned home, her heart seizing with fear as she rushed to her husband's side. "Oh, John, you've got to help him, please," Moira begged, her voice laced with desperation. These were the very words John had been waiting for. He was pretty out of control, John calmly told Moira, who couldn't stop thanking him, praising him for his quick thinking and decisive action. When Cain eventually came round, Moira thanked John once more, her gratitude overflowing. She called him a hero, and a real-life one at that, she added, completely unaware of the dark truth lurking beneath John's polished facade. A fragile reconciliation and a shocking return. Back at home, basking in the glow of his latest heroic act, John offered a perfunctory apology to Aaron for his earlier distance, vowing to finally enjoy their honeymoon phase. They reconciled, a shaky, fragile peace settling between them. For a brief moment, it seemed they might actually have a chance at happiness. But this is Emmerdale, and happiness, especially for our troubled characters, is always fleeting. Just as the couple's shaky happiness was beginning to solidify, the universe, in its own twisted way, delivered another blow. There was a knock at their door, and who should be standing there but Robert, John's half-brother, and more importantly, Erin's ex. His appearance was a shock to everyone, particularly Erin. "I just got out of prison. Thought I'd spend some time with my family," Robert declared, a smirk playing on his lips. Erin's response was immediate and visceral. "Well, not here, you're not. Get out," he snarled, his voice laced with fury and fear. But Robert, ever the provocateur, had the last word, chillingly telling them he'd be seeing them soon. What's next for John and Erin? Now the village holds its breath. Robert's return throws a massive wrench into John's carefully constructed world. Will this new threat from Robert finally push John over the edge? Will his deep-seated need for control and twisted sense of justice lead him to act on his veiled threat to hurt Robert? And what does this mean for Erin, caught between his newly reconciled husband and his manipulative ex? The tension is palpable, and one thing is certain. Emmerdale is about to get even more explosive. What do you think John will do next?